Hi everybody, it's Julie. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I got a little happy mail for playing the tag game. So thank you, Big Mama. It was her turn. She sent me. So I got some fun little pieces here, and she has put the oval piece, and then there is, you can see there's book page, and then she backed it. Okay, and then this one's just backed with book page so that it gives you that strong, wonderful tag. And look, a sewing machine. So I'm going to be able to put this one in with my sewing stuff over here, and this is going in with my Paris book. And so, yeah, so thank you, Big Mama, and thank you, everyone, for playing that game when we get to play. And thank you for those that have come up and said that they would like to be the person to send out tags. It's really, we appreciate it. It's fun. It's something that we just wanted to do here. And so... yeah, so we are going to be working with a Reader's Digest today. I'm pulling this back so I can get a true page from the Reader's Digest. Okay, so this will give me the size that I need. Now, you guys remember there's already a video of me making pages. Okay, a couple of these are going to be a little long. I'll have to do something with them, but these are the pages, and if we get a chance, we'll put them in order at the end here. I'm planning, I want 3 or 4 signatures. I also wanted to add this in as a page. I'm thinking to put it in possibly with another, okay? So, but I have an idea, okay? I also have the back of the pattern to use here, and I have some tissue that I want to use. So the next thing I wanted to tell you, and this, I have wanted to figure this out for so long, and Big Mama figured it out, okay? So, so excited. If your printer, when you go to print, and it gives you the choices of sizes. One of the sizes is called executive. And it is, I didn't write it down. It is this, well, we'll just measure it, okay? We'll measure it. Sure we will. We'll measure it with this ruler. So it is like 7 1/8 by approximately, it's, this one says 9 3/4, but I think it's 10 and something. Oh, I can see the edge of the page. Let's find one that you can see the whole page, because I printed this in, okay, here we go. This will be a better, okay, so 10 1/2 looks like by 7 1/8. Okay, so these pages are from my antique sewing kit. It's available in the DearJulieJulie Etsy shop. I'm going to go ahead and I will add it to the sale that is going on right now. That is the brand new kit at home. I went ahead and printed this because I wanted pieces that I might be able to use like as you know, as a belly band or as a border tuck. And so I did print some of these pages, but these ones I think I want to use on the backs of the other pages. Okay, so we are building pages. Again, these all came, this is from the antique sewing kit, okay? And so this is what the regular size would be, okay? And so these, of course, are going to be smaller. They'll fit in, and hopefully we don't lose too much of the things that are going on. Okay, I also had these 3 pages that I wanted to use, and I'm going to use them as flip up pocket pages, for at least for one of them. Okay, so to do that, I'm going to want to come down here. I think this one, because of it is directional, I think this one is going to get just cut, and it will be a flip page. Okay, so a flip. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that. So this is 12 by 12 paper. This is, I had gotten this paper at Dollar General. Okay, so I'm going to want one full page, or pretty much full page. I'm going to come in a little bit shorter than what it would be. Okay, and that way, if it ends up out in the creep, it'll be okay. Okay, and then we're going to bring this one in and fold it in. Okay, so that gives me that page. Okay, now let's see. If we go to the side, go sideways on this one, and then okay, if I bring it so that it comes up here, nope, seam line's going to be upside down that way. So we'll go this way. Okay, so just looking at it, if I had used this as my flip up pocket, seam line would be upside down. Not a big deal, but for me, I like things to be in the right direction. So I'm going to go ahead, come over here, and this will give me a flip up pocket. Pretty good size pocket. Pretty good size pocket. Okay. And then I want to go under 10 inches this way. Again, because of the creep. Okay, we'll go 9 3/4. Okay, so that will be my extra piece. And this will be, there's that, okay? How cool is that? We've got a large pocket page. Okay, we're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go sideways. And I think we'll go with this as our flip up pocket. Okay, so again, using this as my guide, coming up with where it's going to flip up. And I thought I had more than one page of this, but I'm only finding one because it's a paper pad that I buy often. Okay. And let's see. We'll just go with this. Okay. So I have those two, and I'll have 3 cardstock pieces. Okay. And they have to do with sewing, which I think is really cool. Okay, so we have added those 3. And then I think we'll go ahead and I'm like, should I? How small would that be? I'm going to go ahead and cut this in half. Okay, and these will go with these in to make more ephemera. Okay, so remember I had these pages that I want to use somewhere in the journal. I think the back of this might be a good place for this, and it could be a pocket that we load from the top. Okay, now I want to come down and cut this piece off, but first, let's see if I put this on here. I'm going to go ahead and I think that is amazing. What do you think? Okay, so I'm going to cut this off because that's going to give me, whoops, something that goes along with what we've got going on to use, okay, as an embellishment. Then I'm going to come over and find a good spot. There, okay. Okay, now the other thing, this could go in and could be a tip-in. And you could, that way you could write on it. On the other side. That might be a good idea. Okay, so we did pull out the tissue. And so I actually have pieces that were cut out that I think might be kind of fun to put in, like on top. So if we put this piece in across, okay, doing all the things, you guys, doing all the things. Okay, we're going to go across the top. So we're adding pattern paper. Now, I probably will add pattern paper to also to some of those. Okay, we need to hurry. We'll just go ahead and put down what we can here. Okay, this is down. One page at a time works. Okay, I think we can go all the way over. So I think because this is cardstock, I think adding that second piece of pattern, I'm going to do that on another page, okay? One that's not as thick. Okay, so using glue stick. Okay, I want this to go up to the top, so I'm going to end up with a wrinkle. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with wrinkles. It's a good thing, right? Okay, now I'm going to take this piece. We try and use up all our scraps here in the Dear Julie Julie channel. If you want to see how to use scraps, you've come to the right place, because I try to use all the scraps. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go with that. And Okay, I don't know if you can see that because I know I moved my... Okay, so there's that. Now, there's a hole there that happens on patterns. It just happens. They have random, they'll have holes in them like that. Okay, now you could bring this around and have that as an edge just for something different. It is a way of making it so you don't have scraps. I think this is my last one of these glue sticks. Okay, there we go. So Jeff and Tom, so I'm filming this on Saturday. Jeff and Tom just left to go over to the state park. They are going to be helping this weekend with search and rescue dog training. And Jeff is actually going to be the victim. So they're going to walk a trail, and so Jeff's scent will be on the trail. And then in the morning, they'll take a handkerchief or something and they will rub it on Jeff like he'd been wearing it. And then Jeff will walk the trail again and go up and sit in the shade and of a sagebrush, because we are in the desert, and wait for the dog to come and find him. And then Tom is, so when the search and rescue dogs go out, sometimes they'll have a lod for it, like they'll have the dog, and the person that runs the dog or owns the dog or uses the dog for this, and then they'll have a law enforcement. So the dog needs to be used to having someone else there as well. So yeah, so we have friends that do this, and Tom's done it before. I've done it where I just went and I did the check-in. So when people came, I checked them in. So yeah, so that's what they are doing. And when you see this video, well, actually this video, it's a Sunday video, so it'll just go up. Okay, so I think that is going to be great. We've got pattern. You can write on the pattern. I think we'll go ahead and we'll add this in, and it will be a tip-in. Okay, and I can come back and decorate it later. Okay, I'm not decorating. I'm just getting the pages ready so that I can go ahead and bind the journal. So, okay, so that's going to go on there. This is the back of the pattern. There's that. I like it. Okay, so that gives us that page. Now, for these, I think the pattern would be great. Also across the top of these. I think this might be fun to have if you've got the notches and the things, I think that they are fun and should go in here. So we'll do one of these so that you can see. I'm just going to go down inside the pocket, and that way the white of my page is covered with the pattern tissue. Okay, and of course, if you don't have pattern tissue, you can use any kind of tissue, or a napkin are my favorite things to use to do this. Okay, And yep, got some wrinkles. And there's that. Okay. And then if you wanted to, you could go ahead and bring this over on this page. I'm not going to. I think that this is going to be, this might be a fun pocket right here. Right? Okay, so there's that. And there's that. And it comes up quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and, well, I was trying to rip it so that I'd have enough to make a paper ruffle. Okay, right along the edge. But there we go. There's that one. I like it. So doing the same thing to this one, I think would be great. And then, of course, you'll be able to take this, stitch it, and have a paper ruffle. And how fun to have the notch and be able to put that on the outside. So a great way to use up a scrap. And so now we're going to move to the pages. And I know I want that antique sewing machine in here. That is, so this one. And this came from the owner manual of a number 66 sewing machine, oscillating hook sewing machine. So it does cut the page down a little bit to fit it to this size, but that's okay. And so you could take this and put something on it, flip it up if you don't want to waste that. Okay, so again, I printed at executive size, so it will fit in my Reader's Digest journal. I'm going to go ahead and fold it first, and that way it is easy to fold it when it's finished. Okay, so now the other thing you can do is you can go ahead and do like masterboard, like patch, patchwork on here. So say, whoop. So for something different, again, the tissue paper ends up being a great page for writing. So, whoop. This is real life, bloopers left in, ripping pages, wrinkles, all of it left in. Okay. Okay. So I think we'll put this one along here. Okay, so the other thing I want to remind you to do, because I just did it, was I have a little box that has embellishments that I made before that didn't quite go with what I was making it at the time, or I just had a day where I made a bunch of embellishments. Don't forget to go through those and find the things that you have to go with what you're working on. Hint, I just did that, and I'm so glad. I found things that I can use in the journals that I'm making right now, which will be helpful. Okay, so, and of course, if you have smaller pieces, you can go ahead and do the smaller pieces. I'm going to go ahead and put this right on top of that, so it looks like it was, like it just kept continuing on. Okay, and you noticed on the other side I've kind of left it okay, I'm gonna let it, okay, I've got a band over here. Okay, we got some glue over here. Okay. Oh, there's some down here too. Okay, so cut all the way around if you want to. If you want to leave it, you can. I mean, if you like that look, and it actually might look really cool. Okay, so there's that. And then remember, I had left, I had purposely like I have this right here, or this one. I think this one might be kind of fun. Okay, I kind of like this. I'm going to go with that one. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out and come along with the, okay. So I could cut these pieces into separate little pieces, or I can cut it down. Oh, you know what? Let's do that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and actually, we may put an edge on this over here, but look, we can go ahead and put this in. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll put it up and come over to the edge. Okay, and have a border tuck on this edge. So I'm going to go ahead and put my glue on. Oh, there it's coming. Okay, right on the edge, and across, and across. Okay, I'll put my pin back in my glue. Okay, well, I want to remind you, if you are a diamond, emerald, pearl, topaz Patreon, the April sneak peek will be on March 27th. And so you will have your sneak peek. And then as soon as the group is ready, you'll get to go in. And as soon as the video's ready, you'll have access to the full video. So yeah, so that if you are a diamond, emerald, pearl, or topaz Dear Julie Julie Patreon, you get a sneak peek at what we're doing next month. Okay, so we've covered this and we have done that. Okay, and we now have a Dear Julie Julie digital in here. We can go ahead and add an edge if we want to, but there is another page. Hooray! And so, okay, continuing on with page ideas. So remember, I am using the kit that Dawn had given me. And this was one of the pages from like a quilt book. And I've already cut it down to fit. And I want to be able to use it in the journal. So this is my full size sheet. And so I'm thinking about piecing on top of here. Remember, I have this piece. So if I put that could be a pocket. This could be a pocket. And then I have this, where I've taken 2 pieces of the pattern paper. I did this with a bunch of them. And I have it ready to be a pocket, okay? So I'll have a pocket here, pocket here, pocket here, and a tuck here. So that is what I want to do. And so I'm going to go ahead and use my art glitter glue, because this is a shiny paper, okay? And I'm going to go ahead and go around. And you could just leave this page just like it is. I just happen to not like people sideways in my journals. And I happen to have this piece. So I'm going to go ahead and come over here and I'm going to lay that down. Okay, I want it right up to the edge of the gutter here, but not any further over. Okay, and we just turn it over and cut it. Now you could go ahead and cut it so that it has a fancy edge. I'm just going to go ahead and cut it. So the page, this is from the Antique Sewing Digital Kit from DearJulieJulie, and that gives us that page. Now I'm going to go ahead and come and straight across. I'm going to go ahead and do this over here. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to come straight down, and then, let's see, kind of line it up and come straight across. Oh, I don't want it on the bottom. Haha, I don't want it on the bottom. So, yeah, because I want to be able to use that whole pocket for something taller. Okay, so again, I want to leave that little bit of space there and put that down. It's kind of like a belly band. You could just leave this like this and have a belly band. You've made that side up there show up. The other thing you could do is you could come over here and have a tab. I'm not going to do that this time. But, and then I'm going to just go ahead and add a little more glue. That was a cutoff from the other day. So there's that. I do want to go ahead and use my circle punch here so you know that this is a pocket. I'm just going to do it light, okay, just like that. And then this, I want to put it down, and you see it has a notch. I want that notch to be on here. So I'm going to start with this side. I'm going to go ahead and put this down and this down. So this is 2 okay, this is 2 pieces of tissue paper, one on top of the other. Okay, then we're going to line that up. And I just want to make sure that you can see the safety pin and the girl. That's my main thing there. So we'll have a pocket here and a pocket here. Now we're going to come over here and I am going to figure out where it can go to. And I'm going to go ahead and put glue on that side and glue on this side. Okay, then I'm going to come over and put a swizzle down here because I want this to be tighter down here because it's just going to be a tuck. Okay, I want to make sure that I hold it down. Okay. Okay, so I have a pocket here and a pocket here. Let's show you. We have a pocket here, and you see it can come all the way down. And then you have this one, and you can see through it. Okay, you have a tuck space here, and you have a pocket here. Okay, and then we can go ahead and close that. And that gives me a great page, I think. I think it's a great page. Okay. So we'll go ahead and close that and put it over here with our others. So next I have this piece, and I think that this piece, you know what? We'll come back to that one. I have that same page, but this one is Reader's Digest size. So I have that ready. I had this as one of the mistake pages. Okay, I've pulled it over on this side, giving this side a little bit of edge. I mean, a little bit. It'll make it stronger on this side. I'm going to make a large pocket on this side. Okay, and it'll have that little bit there. And I'm going to close the other three sides. Okay, so the top is closed. You see where my hand is? We're not putting glue where my hand is. We're going to go the other three sides. I'm going to close the other side, and I'm going to close the bottom. It'll give me one big pocket, not two, one. Okay, then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to line it up, and I'm going to line it up to the bottom. Okay, and that just happened to work that way. Okay, I had already cut this edge, and you can see we got just a little bit of a, okay, and now we'll come in and cut this. So remember, printing at executive size gave us, and then we've got this. Okay, so that's what I've got, and go ahead and fold it. And now I've got this large pocket here, and I have this page that can go into the journal. This is the end leaf paste, and it's into a couple of journal kits. It's in the new at-home kit, and so yeah, I think that will be a good page to add. The next one we have was from this was from a Friday freebie. Okay, so you got the whole page, and then you could cut it up and use the pieces, and that's what we did. We cut it up and used the pieces during a Friday freebie. But I also wanted to be able to use this as a page. Now, I like this, okay? This is the edge that came out of the book. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this down as a border tuck. Okay. And then I'm going to probably want to do something to this over here. Now, I could do another, like a border tuck here, or it could be a flip But right now we're going to go ahead and put this down. Okay, so this is the end leaf from the book that I'm using. And so we are using an end leaf as a page. And rather than having it cut down to fit, I'm going to let this come out. Now, I might end up having to cut it, but right now, I'm going to put this in. So using your end leaf as a page is an idea, okay, for our 100 ideas of Reader's Digest pages. And I'm just going to come down here and give it a thumbprint place. Okay, so there we go. And so you have that. You have this that you can write on. You have this flip. And we might want to go ahead and add page. Now we could go ahead and put this, and that could be, it could be another tuck. And this could be a pocket. It's pretty white, huh? Okay. And let's see. We could put this down and it could be a tiny tuck. Okay. I think we'll do this. And I think we're going to just put it down with glue. Okay, put it down with glue. I had it like this. Yeah, like this. Better hurry. This is quick drying glue. Okay. I'm going to put this on. I'm going to let that notch go over the edge and the one go over the top. Okay. And this could be a little tuck. Now, it would be pretty flimsy. You know what? I think we'll just, remember, I like to use up our scraps. This would be a scrap if it came down, but it's patterned. We are using pattern throughout this journal, so there we go. Okay. Flips over. Okay. There's that. Go ahead and put glue. Okay. I like that we have the notch. And then we can come over here. Kind of like, I like this. there's the whole thing. So if we did a tip in here of something. Okay, and you could possibly see it. Okay, but I actually have this doing something different. I have this pocket. I like that. I like that. I'm thinking possibly coming back in and distressing. Yeah, I think we're going to leave that. Okay. Okay, so we have a pocket here. There's the end leaf. And be able to write on that. Okay. I like it. Yeah, I'm thinking something might have to come in here. Well, the other thing I have for pages is I took apart a journal, and I have these pages, which I think are going to be perfect. And so I'll cut those down, and these will be my lined pages in this journal. So we could, you guys, we could put a backwards flip-flop in here. Okay. Let's see. Where do I have to cut it down? So you want to see a backwards flip-flop? Let's go ahead. We'll do a backwards flip-flop. So it's going to have to be cut here. So let's grab our cutter. Okay, and I'm going to cut just above the bottom. And there. And I'm going to cut a bunch of these because I'm going to use them in my challenge journal also. So this is for the Kit Create Collab journal that I'm making. It was a special collab. Okay, so this will go. Yeah, I like that. Okay, so it's folded in half. Okay, it's folded in half. We're going to come and fold it again and line it up straight at the bottom and go up. Okay, and then come back, bring it back like this, and we'll go ahead and put our glue here. So we're adding in 4 pages of writing space. We'll add that right into the gutter. Okay, so you'll open this and you'll have writing space and writing space. I think that is going to be awesome. I do want to cut this, this notch is okay, so there. Even though it was a 3 notch, we've now made it 2. Okay, so you'll be able to write here. And so that gives me another set of pages. And if this is sticking out too far when we get our book put together, then I can cut it off. But I think we're going to be okay because I'm going to be adding edges. So, yeah, so we have the large pocket. using that. We have this where we've pieced it together. We've used a stacked piece there. We have the border tuck. We use the end leaf. That's my 100 days challenge piece for today. And yeah, so this was a Friday freebie. You can find that, the Friday freebies, at patreon.com/DearJulieJulie. Let's see, the other, oh, I have one more I want to do, but okay. Then we've got this one, and we put the pattern paper on the inside, and we added the back of my pattern that I'm using. Okay. And we did flip this over so that we weren't wasting any. Okay, so there's that one. And then this is from the Antique Sewing Kit from Dear Julie Julie from the Etsy shop. It is open every day. The Etsy shop is open every day. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and cut the... Okay. And then we have our flip up pocket. Okay. And I have another one, but I did not finish it yet. It's going to get pattern in here also. And I think this is really cool because these are going to give me some actual sewing pieces. And then I'm going to be adding in some of these pieces. And then for one of these pieces, so let's go ahead and get this cut down so that it is ready to go in the journal. Okay, so this is my template. So we're going to cut it like right here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut it here and here. Okay, and that'll give me the page, and I'm going to add that simplicity to it, and so it'll be a side tip in. Okay, so there's that, and we'll come over here and cut this one right there and turn this one over. Okay. And I'm going to go ahead, and it had the fold piece here. We're going to go ahead and put glue along that. And this is from the pattern instructions. Okay. And we're going to put this into there. Okay. All the way in. All the way in. Okay. And now we've got this. Okay. And so we've added a flip page. I'm going to put it like this because I can always turn it the other way. But that is using that. And then I had one, well, okay. We've got a couple of these papers where I have, I've actually glued two pieces of pattern paper together. I'm going to go ahead and down here, let's see, here's my template. Okay. I'm going to fold this over. Okay, and by doing this, it's thick enough that you can write on. Okay, and you could put a picture on it. It was the idea that I had for this. Okay, now over here, I'm going to go ahead and bring this in. And you'll have a flip page. Okay, so now I need to cut. Okay, make sure I'm within. I'm good. As long as I'm within it, I'm good. Okay. Now there is a notch. Okay. How tall can it be? We're going to just use this and cut across. Okay, I can use that for paper ruffles. And then I'm going to come over here and we'll just cut this. Okay, and so that gives me, okay, I want this to be on the outside, and this is the inside of this side, and so I need to make this a little smaller. Okay, so that gives me a paper, plus it's a noisy paper. You know, I like noisy paper in my journal, so that will be fun. Then the other thing I have is I have this piece here, and so let's see. Okay, so you have your big pocket here. Okay, I am going to put, let's see, I kind of like all the things that are going on here, so that's a hard one. So maybe, okay, I'm going to add this here. Okay, and this is going to, so this is triple. It's 3 pieces of pattern, and I'm going to make a tuck. Okay, so I'm going to come across where I'm going to put it down for the, it's going to be a top tuck, because that's how the pattern ended up. Okay, so we're going to go here, and we'll go down here. And we'll put it down. Okay. And if it seems like it needs to have this glued down, then it can just be a pocket. We can wait and see. But I thought that that was fun. And by tripling the pattern paper, we were able to get it so that we'll be able to put something in there. Okay. So we'll be able to put something in there. And then I think on this side, because you could write on this side, but I think I want to make sure this gets in here because I really like this. And so I'm going to go ahead and put this in, and that way it's in. Okay. And I'm going to make it into a pocket, and then it'll also have a pocket coming out of the top because I love pockets, and I cannot lie. I like making lots of possibilities of places for pockets. So there's a pocket here and a pocket here. So, yeah, so several page ideas for a sewing journal. And it would just be nice to be able to see, to get that pin in there. Okay, so I do have another one of these ready to cut. Here we have a page from the digital. We've now got a large pocket. We have a tuck made out of the pattern, and a bag that I had in my stash is now going to be able to be used there. This is it's going to have a flip, and you'll have the noisy paper, which is, I think, wonderful. Okay, here I've used some of the lined paper that I wanted to add, and I've used the image from the pattern instructions. Okay, then we've got a flip up page. I need to add the pattern paper here or something, And so that was cardstock. The paper pad was from, it's this one, from Dollar General. Okay, so it's everyday paper, 25 sheets, American Crafts. And yeah, so I think that was perfect. And then we had another one, and this is a flip-up pocket. So this is that'll get the pattern paper probably. And then you've got a large pocket. You've got a place down here that you can do things as well. And then we have this paper from the Antique Sewing Kit. And I added this from one of the Antique Sewing Kit pages. We did the piecing here. You can hardly tell that I pieced it, but I pieced pieces of pattern like a master board. And then this one was the ruler page, and we added the pattern paper to the background and then put the back of the pattern as a tip-in. And I think that is just awesome. So this is our Friday freebie. We've added it to the in-leaf page. Again, this is my 100 days challenge using Reader's Digest pages. I used the in-leaf and added here. Now we've got a little border tuck, and you've got a place for writing. And then over here you have a flip, and you've got a flip-flop in here giving you places to write. And I just really like the way that looks, so I wanted to keep it. And then that's the other side. This was a Friday freebie available in patreon.com/DearJulieJulie. And then this was from the kit from Dawn, because this all started out with the kit from Dawn, Kit Create Collab. And so there's 6 of us doing this. My day is usually Thursday, but to get this done, I had to add in a day of making pages. So here's my pattern pocket page, and then using the cutoff from the cardstock. This is the quilted page, and you've got those. I just think that these are really fun. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages. That's 36 pages right there of ready for the journal. And of course, I still have my stack over here of other pages and all the stuff. Okay. Remember, we did make the cover, and that was on Thursday, so you can check out that cover. I'm still working on the tassel. Here's my cover. It's holding up really well. We used art glitter glue. And then this is the inside. You can see the in-leaf papers match. And so all of this is going to go in here, and I think it's going to be an amazing little journal. Okay? Yeah. Which one was your favorite? Which one had you, was an idea that you went, woo? Or was there an idea that you went, ooh? Okay. Thank you guys so much for being here. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Bye-bye. Happy Sunday. Bye-bye.